Hey everyone, it's Ivan with kitbadger.com, out here for another gear review, and today we're talking chest rigs. This one right here, which is the Dank Robber Heavy by Unobtanium Gear. We'll go ahead and start broad strokes. What is it? It is a chest rig, and heavy in reference to caliber, so think 308. These cells are sized for either SR25 magazines, FAL, SCAR heavy, something along those lines. And if you saw my review of the Dank Robber Low-Vis chest rig, also by Unobtanium Gear, this one is fairly similar, but again, scaled up for larger caliber. And once again, we have these two straps here, which make a X for your harness, and then we have another strap that comes around the back to secure it. So I'll throw this thing on real quick. If you have a hood or something like that, probably want to throw it on so it doesn't get trapped under that harness. But you basically end up shoving your arms through, your head through that X, and then you snap this. That basically is going to keep this secure from moving around too much, especially once you start going and pulling magazines out of it. As I'd mentioned, this is sized heavy, so these right here are SR25 magazines. It will, of course, fit anything else similar pattern sized. This right here being the PMag 20 rounders. I will say, kind of with respect to the depth of the cells and stuff, for me personally, I would actually rather have these cells a little bit shorter, just so that when you shove the magazines all the way down, there's still some to grab. With SR25 mags, just because of the way they're shaped, even just compared to the PMags, not quite as much to grab. Sometimes if they're shoved all the way down, kind of reaching for them, trying to get it, especially when your hands are cold. But then on the front of each cell, there's a smaller cell where you can go ahead and put anything similar size to basically a pistol magazine. Then over on our one side, we have a radio pouch, shoot, move, communicate. That may or may not be important to you. And then on the other side, we have this piece here where you can put kind of anything similar size, smoke grenade, whatever. Right here, I have a soft T-wide tourniquet, and yeah, pretty handy. With all that said, what has been my experience with this Dank Robber Heavy chest rig? Well, I actually used it in a 3-day night vision course with Amtech shooting. In it, I was shooting a Knight's Armament SR25, so it worked out perfect, being able to have my 3 magazines there. And one thing I actually really like about it is kind of scalability, in that all of these straps you can basically undo, and there we go, and they'll come off. And so you can basically take this thing off depending on how you want to actually use it, and you can clip it into a plate carrier, which if you're going low pro, that's great, but if you want to scale things up, that's pretty handy. And so initially, I think the first day where we were working kind of carbine, I basically was just running this because I didn't really want or need to have the plate carrier, but then continued to kind of scale the gear through that course. One thing I will say is using this without clipping it into a plate carrier, these straps, especially with that kind of X harness, depending on what you're wearing, basically wear into your neck. I didn't run into that even with 4 magazines of 5.56 with their Dank Robber Low-Vis, but with the heavy, I don't know, it's heavier. And I think part of it was kind of clothing selection, but these straps definitely kind of wore into my neck some. So that following day, I'm like, whatever, all the armor. So I ended up with plate carrier, and then we were running nods anyway, so I was running a helmet too. But being able to strap this into a chest rig, being able to strap this into a plate carrier is actually really nice, because then you get rid of these straps running across. And you also, if you are wearing a plate carrier, being able to strap this into a plate carrier, I had it in a LV 117, something like that, the Spiritus kind of like low pro plate carrier. And the way these are sized pretty much fit most any plate carrier, like any plate carrier that has a provision for it, sizing's pretty much right there. But I had this strapped in there, and the nice thing is you can, because it's just a chest rig, throw it over your plate carrier if you want, but in doing so, you just have straps on top of straps, and now you have a sling on top of that probably. Not that much fun. But being able to strap this straight into a plate carrier basically takes all the weight off of just these thin straps and distributes the weight rather over the actual shoulder straps on the plate carrier, which makes it much more comfortable in my experience. Overall, I think it is a pretty solid turnkey option, especially if you're running a 308. 3 primary mags, provision for 3 secondary mags, or flashlight, Leatherman, whatever. Get some comms, a little bit of med gear, and yeah, basically grab and go. And if you want, you can of course scale it with armor, which is pretty cool, being able to clip it into your plate carrier. As I mentioned, if you're just running a t-shirt, probably not the most comfortable thing, but if you have something with kind of a stock collar like Adam LT jacket, or just something with a hood and you get your hood up and out of it so these aren't on your neck, you'll be fine. Overall, pretty solid chest rig. As far as colors, kind of your standard fare. You have your Ranger green, tan, flat dark earth. You have black, wolf gray, multicam black, and I believe woodland also. Price-wise, looking at about 90 bucks. And yeah, US made, lifetime guarantee. Pretty solid product. So if you're running a heavy gun, Dank Robber Heavy chest rig might be the solution. But if you appreciate my content and want to support it, greatly appreciate it. Whether it's liking and sharing videos or going over to kitbadger.com, picking up stickers, KBAT target pads, things like that, or supporting me directly through Patreon. All that stuff helps me go out and create more content for you. But as always, thanks for joining us at kitbadger.com. Look forward to seeing you next time.
She dances on my table. She dances on my pole. Some cities born, some cities burn.